Happy Monday. BizDev Morning Brew. Monday mornings make money. We are making Monday mornings make money with our mind set. The weekend's over. Time to get to work. So happy Monday. Hope everything is working well for you. Wish you the best. And I'm here to encourage you to move forward with the week. So a lot of things came to fruition for me over the last week. My outcomes came to play, and the one thing that is always very cool and interesting when you are in alignment with the things that you're working with is that you are tested to the things you are asking for. So when you make a statement, I want to have more contacts and connection with investors who are interested in me. Next thing you know, you wind up getting a phone call from 5 or 6 people who are asking you for a detailed description of your business plan. And you're like, what? I don't, okay, I got the energy. I got to get this done. And then you get another phone call from someone that says, look, I'm on a flight and I'm heading out to Dubai tomorrow. Can you get me a detailed outline of what you're requesting before the end of the night so I have time to review it before I hit the flight tomorrow? And I'll be gone for a week, and I would like to sit on the idea and work with some other people that I'm going to be meeting in Dubai. Sure. These are good problems to have, right? And these are the type of things that you can run into when you are working with the right mindset. And it's also the reason why I say Monday mornings make money. And why do we want to make Monday mornings make money? So we have control of the process on the journey, and we put our mind and our frame of mind set on Mondays to get the outcomes ready for the following week, for the week we're in, and then prepare for the following week. And I wanted to talk about messaging a little bit, because that's one of the things that it's involved in when you are aligning with the things that you want, and you are getting in alignment with your own vision, and you are putting all the things in place so the outcomes play out in your favor. Your messaging must be clear, right? You must have clear messaging, not only for yourself, but also for the people that you're working with. You must have clear messaging with your team. Your team needs to understand verbally. You must be able to express this verbally as well as visually, and maybe expressing in a tutorial or a video, or maybe even lately the doodlies are very popular. You need to express your message clearly. Now, I wanted to show you a video. I like to express things, especially when I'm looking at a specific topic. I express it in the form of either a television program or a movie that has been very popular. And I'll take a scene from that, and I'll say, you remember that scene in such and such where the person did the thing and with the other person, and then they went and saw the place? Oh yeah. And then this aha moment happens with the person that you're talking to. Well, I'm going to do that with you right now. I want to show you a scene from a very popular television series called Entourage. It was on HBO. For those of you who haven't seen it, you don't necessarily need to have seen this show to understand the context of this scene that I'm going to show you. If you have not seen the show, well, if you have seen the show, first bear with me, and while I explain a little bit. And if you have seen the show or have not seen the show, to put this in the context, what you're getting ready to see is a scene where the two individuals are the actor named Vincent Chase and then his manager. And currently, he is the bee's knees in movies. He is the highest. He's just starred in the highest grossing movie of all time, currently, according to the TV show. And his next project is getting ready to hit the skids. It's not ready. The contracts aren't working well. He's not able to get the next job, and it's his agent's fault. So even though he had so much success with this agent that he was with, he's currently faced with the idea that he may need to change agencies. So he's on the prowl. He's actually figuring he'll put himself out in the market and have new agencies pitch him on an idea of him leaving his current agency and working with a new agent. And I want you to see What happens when this superstar talent goes out into the world to be pitched by other agents? And remember, associate this with the current situation you may be in. Have you ever come across an opportunity where a big client is shopping for a new opportunity or is looking for a new service, and you have the opportunity to pitch that super client and let them see your company? Or have you been in a situation where your superstar client has seen the light in a new situation and may want to find either a new service or new representation, and you are in the threat of needing to pitch your company again and have what they call interview for your job? So let's watch this really quick, and then I'll mention a little bit more about it.
Mercedes, Coca-Cola, two of the most recognizable names on the planet. Vincent Chase. We intend to make you as popular as both of them.
Apple. Canada. Vincent Chase. Microsoft. McDonald's. Vincent Chase. Brand name recognition. What do you think?
I think I need to think.
Vince.
It's pathetic, Ari.
So
What's that?
one of the best things that I think about this entire situation is that this is the typical thing that we find in the market. As professionals, we want to make sure that we have the best presentation to be able to knock the socks off of our clients, right? Knock the socks off of our prospects. Yet and still, we fall in line with the same pitch, the same design, the same archetype that everyone else does. And what we don't realize is our prospects and clients are seeing the same damn thing over and over again. I apologize for my alarms going on. The same thing over and over again. We, as professionals, must understand who our clients are, who our prospects are. And we must, as we continue to progress into the future, we must change the way that we pitch and communicate to our clients. The message must be about them. The one thing that you saw in all of those is that they were all pitching the same grandiose idea that for some reason they were going to be the ones, the agency was going to be the ones that were going to create this massive brand out of Vincent's name. He was going to be synonymous with Mercedes and McDonald's and Microsoft and Apple, and that they were going to be the ones to do it. Our clients are smarter than that. Our prospects are smarter than that. We need to associate what we are going to do. Now, the thing about there's more about this story that is not told in that scene. That the character Vincent is more interested in the personal relationship that he had, and the last series, that the last scene where he gets up and says, you know, that was pathetic. He was talking to his current agent, and he thought that he was going to get a very personal communication of this is where we really are, a heart to heart about what was happening in this man's career, where his career was headed, but he didn't. He got the same old pitch that here we are, and then the whole room full of people. He had no idea who he was. This is what we do as professionals. We think we need to impress with these big Brody moves when all we need to do is connect. We need to connect one-on-one with our prospects and our customers on a personal level, where they are actually hearing the message and we are hearing their message. The next thing that I want to touch on really fast is a book that I have been reading recently, and it's probably one of the best books that gets right to the point when it comes to messaging. And I read it really quick, and then I reread it with an audio, which I suggest if you have the audiobook of a book, read the book. You know, you'll get something out of that. Of course, you'll also get more out of it when you have it read to you and you are able to go through, because some of these books have diagrams. You can go through the diagrams with it. But this book right here, it's by Eric Peterson and Tim Reinsterer, which I hope I'm saying that right, called Conversations That Win the Complex Sale. And I have a few conversation books, but this is one that really touches on some specifics because it has to do with power messaging. And you create more opportunities when you create the correct message. So after watching that clip, let's listen a little bit to this book. I'm going to listen to the first part of chapter 9, having to do with getting your prospects' attention. And just take a listen.
Chapter 9, The Hammock, Getting Their Attention. It's a beautiful summer morning on Lake Erie. The sun's out, but there's just enough breeze to keep you comfortable. It's not too hot and not too cold. Eric's lying in a hammock next to a beach. He's got a book in his hand, and some chips and a drink are on a small table within easy reach. It's a pretty good life. Eric's 5-year-old son, Brett, doesn't appreciate all the things that had to come together to make this moment happen. Scheduling vacation, having a place to go, the weather being perfect, a good book to read. All Brett knows is that his dad is ignoring him, and Brett wants to play with his dad. Brett stands beside the hammock and starts talking. He's talking about something fairly random, as 5-year-olds so often do. Eric pretends that he's paying attention. He tries to give Brett yeses and nos in the right places. Every once in a while, Eric gives Brett a, "That sounds cool." It works for a bit, but then Brett realizes that Eric isn't really paying attention to him. Eric's still reading the book. So now Brett starts to push on the hammock to make it swing. At first, Eric keeps ignoring him. Eric loves Brett, but he really wants this moment of relaxation. They're going to have a week together, which means that there will be plenty of time for the two of them to play. But there's no guarantee that the weather will be like this again, and no guarantee that there will be this perfect hammock time again. Brett pushes the hammock harder. He keeps it up until Eric can't ignore him anymore. Eric looks up from his book, and Brett's got a big grin on his face. He knows he's got Eric's attention now. Eric smiles back at him and gets up from the hammock, and they go play. The situation that Brett was facing, wanting Eric's full attention, and Eric wanting to pretend that Brett had it rather than actually giving it to him, is the same situation that sales professionals face every day. Your prospect didn't wake up this morning and say, "I hope a salesperson calls me today, stops me from doing what I'd planned, and gets me to do something different. If only the world worked that way." But that's not how it works. Your prospect has things that she is trying to accomplish. She often isn't looking to make a change. Her focus is on things other than your message. And even when you feel you have her attention, she's often just faking it. Getting people's attention is the great challenge facing anybody who is trying to deliver a message today. There is a ridiculous volume of people, ideas, and things all clamoring for attention to the point that it can be overwhelming. From your prospect's perspective, you can think of the challenges as being information related. There is so much information coming at your prospects every day that they need systems and defenses that help them sort through it all. From your perspective, though, you should think of your challenge as being an attention problem. In a world in which there is so much competition for your prospect's attention, how do you stand out? How do you get and earn your prospect's attention? And your challenge goes still further than that. It's not just initial attention. Just because your prospect agrees to the first phone call or the first meeting doesn't mean that you're going to have his attention throughout the sales cycle when you deliver your message. In fact, science shows that you may not have his full attention even during that first face-to-face meeting. Just as Brad had to work hard to get his dad's attention, even though he was talking to his dad and standing right next to him, you need to work for every moment of your prospect's attention. Whether you know it or not, your prospect is in a hammock that's just as real as Brad's dad's hammock, even though it's invisible.
So that associate that concept of getting your prospects' attention with the understanding that you must take different avenues in order to make sure you're gaining that appropriate attention And then knowing that you have to keep that attention means that you must have a level of empathy, care, significance, and you also must have rapport. And that takes time to build. And you're not going to be able to build that type of rapport within messaging and that we saw in the video of the show Entourage, where you're just giving the mundane pitch, the same deck. You got the same presentation that you just fill in the blank with your prospect. You also, when you do your automations, you can't just send out the same message. You can't send the same message to everyone. Everyone's going to read it and see it differently. And you're playing the game of numbers that is not only just giving you a small part of the market share, it's also hurting your image along the way, because now you have a large pool that is opinionated, negatively opinionated about you. And that leads to the possibility of you having a campaign that ricochets back to you in a way that you were not expecting. And when you're going through the pitfalls and people are stressed, they're looking at you as that old hat that they don't want to put on anymore. And what you want is a friendly person and a friendly personality that your prospects want in good times and bad. So watch your messaging. Watch how you communicate with everyone. I said this in a few calls before, and I will continue to say it. Communication is key. How you communicate is even more so key. So think about what you're saying to your prospects. Think about who your prospects are. Think about who your customers are, your employees are, your team members are. And then most of all, who are you? In the whole grand scheme of things, who are you and what role are you playing in the connection of everyone with the messaging of your business development? BizDev Morning Brew, Monday mornings. Monday mornings make money. We have our mindset ready to make money and make things happen. We're getting everything together for our outcomes to be exactly in alignment with our vision and play out to our benefit. BizDev Morning Brew, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm here. Leave me a message or a comment below if you have something you want me to discuss, or if you have something you would like to topic you would like to have expanded upon. I'm more than happy to do so. If you like this method of being able to take an article or take something and role play on it, I have a great opportunity for you to be able to work with a group of fantastic sales professionals who practice the idea of being able to put themselves in situations and develop the best way to be able to communicate and get that message across. If you'd like more information about there, I have a link for you to click below, and I hope you have a fantastic day. See you.